I'm Amy Dunker at Clarke University. Welcome to Trumpet Quick Lessons. Fracked notes, clammed notes, chipped notes, whatever you call them, they make us trumpet players absolutely crazy. But they happen to everybody. The object is to minimize them as much as possible. Even the great players have it happen to them, but it's rarer. So what causes these things to happen? There are three primary things to think about. Air, is your air support and all of that ready for that particular note? Tonguing, is your tonguing and air working together? Fingering, is your fingering, tonguing, and air all working together? Those are the three things that you have to think about when you're working on eliminating these problems. So make sure you get a really good warm-up, because that's part of eliminating these problems, is that your face is ready to play, your fingers are ready to play, your tonguing is ready to go. I like to use in warm-up is just really a tonguing exercise like this. That's the start, and then I do arpeggios. I go all the way to the bottom, then I come back to C, and then I go upwards. Practices my fingers and patterns, also practice my tonguing. I also do work on scales, tongue. Just really making sure everything's lined up, and in particular the more difficult scales. I also do these tonguing exercises. Basically, they're like lip slurs, only I tongue them, and I tongue them to be precise and even. So on and so forth through the fingers, and then I go up. So on and so forth. Then I do. All the way down through the fingers, and then the way I felt about that one is I should be doing that one more. I'm kind of a little bit behind on these, and that's just really lining up all those things: air, fingers, and tongue, and especially tongue and air. And then I go to things like interval studies. And sometimes I double tongue them. And then I go up, so on and so forth, double tongue them, and keep going up. So for me, that's just working all those, working the tongue and air, working the tongue and air, working the tongue and air. The arpeggios and scales are working the fingers. Sometimes I make up, if I'm especially doing a lot of 20th century stuff, or doing even Hindemith, Tomasi, those kind of concertos, I will take little passages and make technical studies out of them and tongue. Da, 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 da. If I'm having a problem tonguing them, then I slur them first, get the air going first, and then add the tongue. And that is the best way to work these little problems. And the last thing is to really work the fingers, especially the third finger. That one gives us a lot of trouble, but really making sure the fingers are getting all the way down when you play, and that they're coming down rapidly. So I work through those Herbert L. Clarke technical studies and other technical studies that I find along the way. Get your finger out of this, get your finger on top, or if you've got small hands like me, just let it fly. So that since these two are on the same tendon, this one can do all the work and this one just flies alone, or at least doesn't anchor it down and hinder it. And that's how you get rid of those crazy fracks, clams, chips, whatever you want to call them, is really just precise practicing on air, tongue, and then air, tongue, and fingers.